Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Never Onside. This episode is basically a game week preview of 12th game week, and we'll be discussing the transfers in, transfers out, potential players to watch out for in this game week, and also our plans for the coming game week. So let's get into it.
Yes. Just before everyone, for anyone who is not up to date, this is a midweek game. So yeah, do your lock in your transfers before the deadline, as this is not our usual weekend deadline.
Right.
Also,
I think tomorrow around midnight is the first match. Yeah, right. Brighton versus Nottingham Forest will be around that time. So get in your teams before 11,
10:30, 10:30
10:30. Yeah, 10:30.
IST.
Right. Yeah. So looking at these teams, Mayur, who are you targeting?
So the obvious pick has to be Brighton. They are playing against a Nottingham Forest team who have not performed very well, have taken in chances for fun, and we have seen Brighton being attacking very well. Like they have been attacking very well. So they could. This is the first team which stands out. Apart from that, any teams whose which you want to
Yeah,
talk about
so for
attack?
me, someone like Chelsea, the fixtures are good, but the personnel are not good. So that is the only issue there. And Liverpool West Ham is something we should be targeting, judging from what we saw against City, especially the likes of Salah playing as a striker in his preferred center position. So he is one player to watch out for. And Newcastle versus Everton. Everton has considered a lot of shots from outside the box. Someone like an Almiron who surprisingly is getting into the right positions but is not converting enough. But he has still scored a lot of goals and points for the people who own him. Yeah, right. And then we have the Leeds versus Leicester match. Two teams who are struggling. Leicester. Who are weak in defense, Leeds who are decent going forward, can maybe make use of the defensive frailties of Leicester. So those are the games that I would target.
So I would agree with it. So let's move on to the fixture ticker. So fixtures have been going to change after game week 13, and this is a very crucial period in the game where this is the first blank game week of the season, and City and Arsenal are blanking. But so how are you preparing to get past it, Rose? Since you still have a wild card intact, so that is an interesting thing.
Right, right. Yeah, so I was planning to get through this game week with 9 or 10 players because for me, the next round of fixtures are very crucial from 13 to 16, where you can clearly see the likes of Crystal Palace, the likes of, if you check City and Arsenal, apart from the blank game week they are having a good run of fixtures. So these are teams that I wanted to target during my wild card in game week, like after game week 12. But the issue now is that I have, I think, around 8 players playing right now, and unless I take hits, I won't have 10 players playing. So that is a big issue, especially the last nail on the coffin was Maddison getting a yellow card in the last minute. So that was a huge blow. And also Trent Alexander Arnold coming back from injury so quickly. And I would not have transferred him out if I had known that he would come back so quickly. And I took in Martial for Mitrovic, which was, on hindsight, it looks like a bad decision. But hopefully Martial features in the next match because only when he plays United seems to be ticking. So Eric Ten Hag doesn't have a choice. If he's fit, he'll have to feature in that match. So yeah, for me, either take 2 hits, get in 10 players, or play the wild card. But I don't want to play the wild card. I'm very adamant about it. But let's see if I can get 10 players in.
Yes. So as per this fixture ticker, just to sum up, you can see Liverpool have a good run of fixtures, and currently we are on not so many Liverpool assets. Most of us sold their assets for going to some better players, and now they have shown their form. And against such teams like Nottingham Forest, Leeds, and Southampton, who have been very bad and shaky in defense, definitely this is the team to target. And apart from that, Crystal Palace. A lot of people have Zaha. If you don't have Zaha, you might be looking at that. I went on and got a Crystal Palace defender last week. So looking at this good run of fixture. Unfortunately, from Everton, the usual suspects who we wanted, probably like a Gordon or someone who is not playing the complete 90 minutes. Patterson, who was a good punt at 4 million, has got injured. So the team is there, but the players are not there. And surprisingly, I never thought I would suggest, but we can look at Bournemouth players as well. Solanke,
Yeah, right.
Billing, like those are the players who we can look for currently. And as host said, City and Arsenal also, who have a good run of fixture past this blank game week. So definitely these are the 4 5 teams which you have to target from now on. And probably teams to avoid might be Tottenham, Chelsea, Southampton, teams who are taking a turn for bad and don't have their uh, there are rotation risk as well with their Champions League matches still being
Right, right,
more
right.
important to me. So now let's move on to the question of the hour. As was mentioned, most of the midfielders, like many had Foden, KDB, who are blanking unfortunately. Maddison, who was supposed to be our cover for them, but being a stupid player, he took a very stupid yellow card at the 94th minute for diving. So putting all our plans away, and now we have
Out
to
of the window.
recalculate. Yes. Now we have to recalculate what we
Yeah.
have to do. But Trossard, so everyone from the FPL community is looking at Trossard like he is the Leo Messi. So everyone jumping on him. Thought so because they are playing Nottingham Forest. But Dazerbi had a press conference today, and he mentioned that Lalana will play. So this definitely puts in some doubt for those who are going in for Trossard, because Lalana can play instead of Trossard. Let's see. Gross, who also plays for Brighton, was substituted at halftime last week. So again, he's fresh as well. So there are quite a few changes here and there. I still think Trossard is the best option to go from Brighton, but I would like host. I would give you 7 or 6 options. You tell me what do you think about them. So just to give our viewers a good idea about who can be their possible another options as well. So to start with Salah, if you have the money, so what do you think of Salah host?
Yeah,
Whether it,
so for me, I am considering Salah because I have someone like a De Bruyne who is holding a lot of cash for me right now. So I can get in someone like a Salah and captain him immediately because I don't have someone like a Kane playing and Haaland has a blank as well. So that is an immediate captaincy shout if you have someone like a Salah. So I would definitely go for Salah.
so good, Salah thumbs up for me as well. So the second option is Foden, though in he it's considered as a term option. But if you don't have any options other than that, I guess suppose you would also agree you wouldn't go this week immediately. But as a complete option,
Yeah.
if you have the luxury of benching him, would you go for him?
If I have the lecture, no, I wouldn't go for him in this match. It doesn't make sense to go in this match. Maybe next week I would consider.
Yes. Next, the third option is Trossard. So thumbs up for me, Trossard, and hopefully Hose also has already Trossard.
Yeah.
So both of us are heads up. Next pick is Bowen, who has been in decent form. So what are your
Yeah.
thoughts about him?
Bowen has Liverpool right away.
This week they have Liverpool.
Yeah, so definitely a good player, but the fixture is not right for me. If you have him, you can play him, but I wouldn't go on that.
Yes, definitely a thumbs down for this week, considering he has a tough fixture. But apart from that, they have a good run of fixture after that. So if you have him, you can keep him, but don't go for him. Then the next option is Saka. Would you would you go for Saka again? Just like a Foden question, if you want to go for you have the luxury, and if you want to go for a benching player, would you go for Saka?
No, I would. I already have Saka. I've kept him for the next round of fixtures. I'll bench him as usual, but I wouldn't get him on.
So yes, if you have him, you keep him. Between Martinelli and Saka, who would you keep? You're keeping Salah, right?
Saka. So I
Saka.
had already made that decision like 3 game weeks back, and it was fruitful for me. Saka has outperformed Martinelli in those matches. So yeah, Saka.
Yes. And now we have two more options, but the most interesting option apart from Trossard now is Mason Mount. who has scored and assisted in his last two games and has got good amount of returns, and he has played most number of, not most number of minutes, but has started almost all games under Graham Potter and looks like his favorite player who can play in multiple positions. So what are your thoughts about Mason Mount?
Chelsea players are wait and watch for me. I wouldn't take a punt on those kind of players because if you're wildcarding out of this, then maybe yes. But if you don't have a wildcard, no, I wouldn't go there.
Okay. And the last option, as I said, I would never thought I would give an option for Bournemouth, but yeah, here we are. Philip Billing, who is a midfielder, 5.3 million, who has also he has scored 3 goals and 1 assist in his last 5 Premier League games, and he plays Southampton this week. So again, a good run of fixture, good run of fixture. And what are your thoughts? Urs?
Yes, so Langi has been outperforming Billing, but I would say that Billing has been giving assists, right, a lot.
He has 3 goals and 1 assist in his last 5 Premier
Three
League.
goals and one assist. So I think over the long term, Solanke will outperform him. So I would go Solanke over Billing.
Okay. And you wouldn't suggest a double up, right? If you already have Solanki,
No,
you wouldn't
never,
suggest a
never.
double up.
No.
So same for me. If you are working on a thin budget, you can go for him. He's just 5.3 million, and you can work that money somewhere else to get maybe a Trent Alexander-Arnold in the future. Looks like he'll be back. So yeah. So just to sum it up, who is your first choice? Probably Trossard, right? For both of us, Trossard.
Salah for me, second Trossard.
Yes. Salah, if you have the luxury and money, Salah for
Yeah.
me as well, and Trossard as well. I would take the jump on Mount if you are willing. If you want to risk that, I wouldn't hesitate for going apart from Trossard. But both Trossard and Mount could be minute risk, as we have seen. Both the managers like to make substitutions and they might put. This. But Trossard is my favorite at that budget. Salah, if you have that extra money to go. So those are our main options, and people looking for maybe a Maddison replacement or maybe a Kevin De Bruyne replacement or a Foden replacement. These were your options. So let's move on to our teams. Host, you can just briefly sum up. You already mentioned what you want to do, but just to
Yeah.
briefly sum up.
So this is how it looks. It looks terrible. Cancelo, Saliba, and Madison in my first 11. I have to take a hit maybe, or else I'll be short of three players. So 8 players right now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because the real issue is that I'm wildcarding. So does it make sense to bring in players on a hit for just a single game week? Making a transfer for De Bruyne to Salah for captaincy shout, yeah, that makes sense because I have a free transfer. But going for a -4, can someone outperform the -4 and bring in more than 5 points? Definitely. So that is a big concern. I don't see anyone like that. For me, one transfer is De Bruyne to Salah.
So just to give a clear it out, -4 this week will be -2 because obviously the player will be playing at least 60 minutes, so he will be getting 2 points more than if you don't have a playing player, so it automatically becomes a -2. So yeah, he just has to get 3 points to cover that. So if you are
Yeah,
looking at it that point of view, and as host mentioned, the transfer from Kevin De Bruyne to Salah has already been made in my team. I knee jerked yesterday night after the performance, and I was confident enough. I already had a initial thought I would go for Salah, and after the yesterday's performance, it made and I was very on it. So I made that transfer itself. I have one more free transfer. As you are aware, Maddison would be the person who will be making way. Still contemplating between Trossard and Mount. Let's see. Mostly I will be 90% on Trossard, not 90, 70% on Trossard and 30% of Mount. But yeah, I will make that call later down the line as the deadline comes
hopefully
closer.
Soma plays for you and you will have all 11 players playing,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
and
I'll
that too
try to
without
get
it.
in 10 players. That is maximum
Yes,
what I'm aiming
I
at, and
feel
then wildcard.
Yes, I feel 10 players are enough if you have a good City and Arsenal coverage in general. Hose has a wild card in his back pocket, but if you have a good City and Arsenal coverage and one of it is not playing, 10 is still a good count because they have good run of fixtures from game week 13, and they will definitely get that points back even if you play one player short this week. So so I will be happy to go with 10 players as well if you have that coverage for you sorted out. And just to sum it up, I will be keeping Martinelli, Haaland, and Cancelo. Who are the three players you are keeping from those two teams?
Yes, for me, mostly Saka, Haaland, and De Bruyne for me as well. And like Cancelo will also Saliba or Cancelo, one of them will stay, and Maddison will go out most probably for me,
Yes.
and I'll get him back in the wild card because I don't have much value uh,
In him,
in him.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes. So that's it. That was our quick recap. Again, don't forget the deadline this week is on a midweek Tuesday. 10:30 IST is your last time. That's when deadline hits. So do make your changes before that, and we'll see you once again after game week 12.
yeah.
That's it.
All right,
Thank you.
bye.